judging based on merit.
Attention, stop what you're doing. Because we're coming back to the Hal Sparks radio program, Mega Worldwide.
They went a little crazy with it, and I appreciate it.
Now let's get back with Hal Sparks radio program, Mega Worldwide.
Yeah, let's. Okay, so the big story, the Russia. We've heard from Trump multiple times. Where's Durham? What happened to Durham? Where's Durham? Has been the for a year and a half, 2 years. Durham was supposed to come out with his report in March of 2021. Then June, then August, then October, then this January, then this spring, then a month ago, then there isn't going to be one. So far, of all the cases he's brought, he's gotten one guilty plea of one person involved in it saying that they misled the FBI about
That's bad.
They're filing on they lied to the FBI. And I've said many times, if you go and look at it, the lie that on the FISA document that they filed, that this person filed, I'm blitzing on the name right now, Sussman, I believe, that they filed, the reason why it was, what they lie, their lie in essence was to lessen the chance that the FISA warrant on Carter Page would continue. This person lied to help Trump. So even Durham's one moment where he got somebody for lying, he busted someone lying to help Trump. This is like Mike Lindell dunking on, like, we found some election fraud in the villages in Florida. A bunch of people double voted for Trump. Right. It's very similar to that. Okay. So the case this week is against this guy, Igor Danchenko, which honestly sounds like a villain's name in an early 90s attempt to like spy thriller, like a Mission Impossible,
Yeah, it's a central casting Russian name.
It's got straight up, it's on a dossier. Someone's leafing through it, it's got a picture of him with a face scar, right? Igor Danchenko, the butcher of Cleveland. I don't know where he would be. Anyways, so Igor Danchenko was one of the primary sources for the Steele dossier. He was talking to his people. They were telling him stuff. He was telling Steele. Steele was taking what he said with a bit of a grain of salt, but was going, this is what we're hearing, and this is the word on the street. So that's the dossier itself was never meant to be evidence that this stuff exists, but it was like, what's the skinny on what's going on with Trump in Russia and other places? What do you have that's kind of corroborated? What's the rumble? What will come up probably during the election cycle on its own? That kind of stuff. So this Igor Danchenko was talking to people, and the idea was that the FBI, the whole Durham thing, and the whole Russia, and the whole pushback against Crossfire Hurricane that Trump has been doing is that the Clintons and the FBI and the Pentaveret and the Deep State and the Illuminati and the establishment and the rhinos and the everybody except him and big tech, big industry, big bird, everybody who was against him, conceived this dossier to attack him, and then the FBI used the dossier as the predicate for all the FISA warrants. And therefore, they used this obviously contrived thing knowingly. The FBI knew they were using something that was fabricated, and they made up these warrants so they could spy on Trump, and they used this. That's his argument all along.
Right.
Well, there's a couple of problems with this besides the fact that it's complete horse hockey. The biggest one being is that the FBI themselves and the congressional Republicans, when they put out their report on the Russia investigation after the Mueller report came out, said that they found themselves that was not the root of the FISA warrants. The main reason these FISA warrants were made was because George Papadopoulos mouthed off to a diplomat in a bar and said out loud over, a gin fizz that Russia was going to help Trump win the election. Spurberty spurp. And he and the diplomat he was talking to apparently was not on Team Trump or was on Team Democracy, and called the FBI and went, that guy that Trump just touted as being on his team just told me personally that Russia's helping them win the election. And that's what started all the FISA documents. The Steele dossier has been covered that they have used because it was just Oppo, research against him that the Clinton administration, by the way, or the Clinton campaign rather, bought from Fusion GPS after the Washington Free Beacon had paid for the original one, and they were like shopping it around. They didn't use it. They refused to. They were like, we think we're going to win anyways on the merits. This is ridiculous that Trump is even the candidate. We're not going to go talking about a PP tape or something. That's something he would do. So thank you very much. No, thank you. So Steele goes to the FBI and goes, look, there's some serious stuff in this. You got to talk to these folks. And even the attorney that they tried to bust that worked at at the law firm that was representing the Clinton campaign, what they tried to bust him on was lying to the FBI that he worked with Clinton and that Clinton had sent him to the FBI to start this thing rolling. When in reality, the exact opposite had happened. He was like, as an officer of the court, as a lawyer, I am privy to crimes that are going on. This Alpha Bank connection between Trump and Russia is sketchy as hell. I keep seeing this come up, and the Clinton campaign is not going to talk about it. And this is happening right now. This is a crime in progress. And so he took it to the FBI. So Durham went after him, failed. Now he's got this Igor Danchenko. So he brings in this guy, Brian Outen, who's an FBI agent. And this is, let me understand that Outen is Durham's witness.
Okay.
Durham brought this dude to the court himself to prove that the Steele dossier was the basis for the warrants and that this was all a giant contrived thing. And Igor Danchenko knew he was lying and lied to the FBI on behalf of the Clinton campaign. It was this big thread in the Pentaveret and the Illuminati and Big Tech and Big Bird. And so when he gets him in the chair and he's interviewing his own witness, Outen says, no, the dossier, and like I told you before, the dossier was not what was behind this. Everybody knows that it was because George Papadopoulos was mouthing off and this diplomat called, and we were all using that. And Papadopoulos named him and Carter Page as part of the conversation. Like he was playing up how important they both were. And Durham turns on his own witness and asks permission from the judge to treat him as a hostile witness. It was like a moment out of Liar, Liar.
And then what does the judge say to that? This is your witness?
The judge threw out one of the charges against Igor Danchenko immediately. A federal judge on Friday threw out, this is from CNN's coverage of it, a federal judge on Friday threw out one of the 5 charges against Igor Danchenko, the primary source for the infamous Trump-Russia dossier, in a major setback for special counsel John Durham's investigation. The judge dropped one of the 5 false statement charges, specifically pertaining to the allegation that Danchenko lied to the FBI about speaking with a Democratic operative about the anti-Trump dossier. Danchenko has pleaded not guilty. District Judge Anthony Trenga said in court Friday that Danchenko's answer to the FBI interviewer was literally true, and that Durham's case on the specific charge was too weak to send to the jury. It's a major victory for Danchenko, who has maintained that he was honest with the FBI agents who were trying to corroborate the dossier in 2017. We got to take a break. It says the ruling was a blow to Durham, who has personally handled many of the arguments. He is arguing this in court in person. He's not running the thing like Mueller and having other people run it for him. He is knee deep in this, and he's like the lead attorney on screwing the pooch v. government. Danchenko still faces 4 additional counts of lying to the FBI. Those remaining charges pertain to Danchenko's alleged false statements about whether he got a phone call in July 2016 from a Belarusian American businessman who's been in touch with people in candidate Trump's orbit and was a possible dossier source. And the only question is whether he talked to him over the phone or it was a video call or whether he met him in person at one point and not remembering meeting him at one point. It's just so lame. It just got the one main charge just got thrown out. The other 4 are tangential, like details oriented stuff that no one's going to jail for. Sorry, not happening. So good. So, by the way, one of the big reasons why Trump is having a tantrum this weekend, we'll talk about the others on the other side of the break. We'll be back. It's the Hal Sparks Radio program, Mega Worldwide.
It's going to be a lot.